Alright, time for Dynamite. Now I want to, not much of an apology. You guys already know the deal I have. I have a ruptured Achilles. It still hasn't healed yet. And if you guys don't know, when you have a ruptured Achilles, you're supposed to really stay off it as much as you can. Yeah, you wear, I'm currently wearing a gel brace or a gel splint to try and take care of it. But you really need to give it time to heal and not run around and do anything. Fortunately, that's what I've been doing. Unfortunately, I live by myself and there's no one to take care of me, so I got to go out, shop, dump the garbage, do laundry, pay bills so I don't have no lights, and it's taking longer than I want. Ugh. Guys, I have no idea being stuck in an apartment more than you should. I mean, I already am injured. I've never hit it. I'm disabled. But having an Achilles rupture on the good leg makes it worse. It's been past 2 months, and it may take another month or two. Who knows? So, you wonder why I haven't done videos? I couldn't stand. Sorry, I had to say it. I know it's taking a minute. I'm sorry. Let's get to this. I'm not going to be heavy into, I never really am detailed heavily in the matches. But I'm going to tell you when the matches were good, of course. Tell you when the matches made no sense, which is not about who you're with, but why even have it. And pretty much, cool. But the segments, I'm just going to go through the matches quickly, and every segment we're going to talk about. That is the key right here for this episode of Dynamite. We have 1 week before All In. Right now, they've done their work. They're going to do their shooting, probably already shot everything for Collision. It's pre-recorded, we already know, and everyone is already going on a plane, probably in the next day or so, to the UK, to London, to Wembley, and set up for All In. The entire week, this week, and next week, they got that done, or they're about to get it done when they travel there, because right after this, everybody's going to board a plane, they're gone. But I'm going to give you this right now. The entire thing that's hinging on this, for people at home, not just the people at Wembley, people already bought their tickets, people who are in America, who's gone over to England, or people in London, France, Germany, Belgium, wherever, have now also purchased their tickets, and they're going over to Wembley. For everyone else who cannot go, who are now going to buy All In, this show, not the next one next week, this was important because you got to build on top of what you set up already at Wembley. Because remember, filming over in Wembley, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to film over in London. That's where they're going to be live. They're going to be live in London. They're not going to do it now and then just head over to London before Sunday. They're going to be there already. So you will be seeing them filming in England. This was the one that was the most important thing they had to get right. Because they had to make it clear that we're here. Next week is London. We have to be ready for this. So let's go through the matches. Just going to go through them quickly and get them over with. Then we will really get to the true meat and potatoes of this. Let me give you this. Did I care about the trios match that opened the show? No. Here's the problem. Seeing that Will had worked and was having problems with the why we bring in two guys from I'm like, didn't he already say that he had a problem with United Kingdom already when he was face to face with Moxley and the Death Riders when he left them? Why did he go and grab two guys from United Kingdom that he knows he has a problem with, that we didn't even see at all, any of it played out on television? If you say, well, you got to go on X, fuck ya. Not meant to be disrespectful, but forget that. Fuck that. Fuck ya. They got to do it on the show, because one of the major problems that Dynamite has, you do all this stuff at CMLL, or you do it over in New Japan Pro Wrestling, or any other promotion, and you show no footage of it. I'm sick of it. They're not getting a pass here. You bring in two guys from United, it's getting me angry, United Empire to deal with. You got Rocky Romero. You got Brian Cage, and then the one who can never win a damn thing when it's on the line, Lance Archer. He does nothing, and that angers me. Look, I'm not a big Lance Archer fan. I never have been. I never will be. Not because I hate him, it's just because he's never meant anything. In the beginnings of AEW, when he came in, around a little bit before, when it came to Eddie Kingston, he was menacing. He could mean something. And from the moment they let him job out, he went from here being interesting, and he's never recovered. Never. Not one time. In a tag team, he was beginning to get somewhere, then that was it. And I do believe he got injured or he went away for a bit, came back. And understand, I'm not against Lance Archer, against Rocky Romero, or Brian Cage. I'm not against any of them. But you guys tell me, what have they done with them? And hang on. I'm going to give you a minute. Damn, my watch is broken. Nothing. And it pisses me off. You got two big guys, one guy who's made his name in New Japan and could prove that not only can he talk, he can wrestle, he has a good look. And they've done nothing with him. You're supposed to build new stars, AEW, and you have three guys there. One who was the IWGP US champion in a Lance Archer. Brian Cage, who has an incredible look, an incredible distinct attitude. He's working with Don Callis. They could have done something with him. But what did they do? Put him with Team Taz and basically gave him that FTW championship, then did nothing with him afterward. What was the point? Nothing. Moving on. The next match, another tag match. It is, we had the trios, now we got a tag. We get Sheeta and Persephone versus, finally got that name down, versus, I forgot. What am I talking about? You see how much I didn't care about this match. I thought it was a tag match. I thought it was a tag match at one point. And it was a fatal four-way. That made no sense. You see my frustration. You see my frustration with AEW. There's one of you who, you know who you are. You always said, you haven't done it in a while, AEW or WWE, well, mainly WWE, because you can't stand it, has shot themselves in the foot. How can you justify this match? I'm saying it to you. You know who you are. You know, if you watch my video, I'm glad you always watch. I've always respected you. But how can you justify this particular match? This fatal four-way of Persephone, Chris Statlander, Maya World, and Hiro Kushida here when it shouldn't be. It should be set up for Wembley. This match is supposed to be with 4 stars. One of them comes from CMLL as one of their champions. The other one is our current TBS champion. And you're not going to put them on All In. You're not going to put them on All In. And if you say 100%, well, look what happened. There's going to be a match in Collision. Do you actually believe that they're going to sacrifice Willow for Maya? You know she's not going to win that match. Whether she wins clean, which is Willow, or you're going to have a Mercedes Moné, and I will talk about what they talked about in a few minutes. But you actually think they're going to do it when you know they won't because they never historically have done it. You're not going to give Maya World that match to win in Collision. It's not going to happen. It's just a quick match that they can just throw something on there, and it just shows they don't care about Maya and they don't care about Willow. Because let's be honest here, Willow said last month, if I win the title, I'll give you a title shot no matter what. She said she'll fulfill it, but instead of waiting until after Wembley, afterward, to build Maya up, to make it mean something, what did they do? Just thrown on Collision. That shows they didn't care about all 5 women. 5. Look at my hand. 5. All my fingies. There you go. 5 women that they should care about. They didn't. Because they gave us this match here. Maya retained. And then later, what did we get? That little talk about Collision. Fuck that. that. I don't want to see Maya World have to job on Collision. I don't want to see Willow Nightingale have to job on Collision because I know they won't. Why not build them up? You're supposed to care about Maya World. You should let her be the next challenger for Willow after Wembley. Maybe build her up for next month, going into All Out, and let it be Maya World versus Willow. It would be a feel-good moment. No. Moving on. Next match. Quarterfinals. We get Moxley versus Jay White. Who did you think was going to win that? Who did you think is going to win this? I'm like, look, I don't hate Moxley. I don't even hate Jay White. I don't hate either one of them. It's about how they built them. Jay White, he should never had to lose to Moxley. And Jay White should feel more important than dealing with the dogs. But this is what we got. I didn't expect Moxley to lose, and he didn't. And let's make this clear. It was dumb. It was. I didn't like it. I did not like the situation with that match. It just felt stupid. And what is it really about? Because it wasn't about the tag titles. It wasn't about the Continental Cup. It's about the Trios titles. You got the Trios champions coming out. You got the Demand coming out. You have Lethal Twist coming out. Then later, and I'm just going to get it done right now, you have not Jay Lethal. You see, I'm getting angry. I'm angry about this. You see Swerve Strickland in the back saying, anybody can get these shot at those titles? We'll wait for you under the arches in Wembley? Okay. You're either going to have one or two teams that's going to work with Swerve. Either it's going to be Hurt Syndicate, which I don't want to see. I don't want to see the Hurt Syndicate as Trios champions again, or even be in the Trios title picture. The only ones that make any sense, which shouldn't have to happen, would be Kofi Kingston, whatever name he's going to go under, and Xavier Woods, which I think he will go under Austin Creed, because that's what he used to use when he was in TNA before he went to WWE, go to FCW from WWE, and then the main roster where he became Xavier Woods. That is where that's going to go, which makes the most sense, even though I'd rather see Austin Creed and the former named Kofi Kingston go to TNA, because I think they'll have more fun there for a little while before they come to AEW. Because I'm going to be honest here. When it came to the run, Kofi and Xavier, it sucked. It sucked because they never, and I'm making it clear, I'm angry. They had that incredible segment with Biggie. And since Biggie can't wrestle, the only thing Biggie had to do was go to NXT, grab two people in the team, which could have been Out the Mud, could have been Hank and Tank, could have been maybe anybody they had on the roster that they wanted to just have a short program with, give them time exposure on the main roster just to see if they will work, and then send them back to NXT to build up and then finally drop them on the main roster. No, nothing. Zero. They didn't even bother to follow it up. It just was, they just wanted to end it, end them, and that's it. And it's bullshit. And if it's not them that show up and it's only the Hurt Syndicate, you can, I'm sorry my language, you can suck my black dick. You can suck it. Because as it stands right now, as much as I don't hate the Hurt Syndicate, I've never hated Bobby. I love Shelton, who should be an actual world champion. He should be world champion next. Because he's one of the rare few that has the ability to talk, has the good look, can wrestle his ass off. He's got the most best mouthpiece in an MVP. And they don't do anything with him, along with Bobby, who's been multiple-time champ. Look, Bobby's earned his multiple-time runs in WWE and TNA. I want to see Shelton win. But no, you get my point. I'm right. You get it. You see I'm angry. Moving on. Next match, which wasn't really a match. Jonathan Cruz talking smack about Andrade through a MJF. MJF ordered him to do it. He started speaking Spanish, saying that you're nothing, I think, because I don't speak Spanish. He probably said that. But he also said, if I was in a match, I'd beat your ass. And that is Andrade. And Andrade decided, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to have my fun. He comes out. He says, let's do the match. Jonathan was not prepared for it. Mr. Cruz got Cruz in the face with the kick elbow within 3 seconds. It was not even a long match. It was like 6 or 7 seconds for him to jump into the ring. The ref did it. He got the boot to the face and then the elbow. He was done. And then as Andrade's talking, some stupid idiot rushed to start showing the video pack of MJF talking. At first, you could hear him in the background. You could hear it. Then they had to cut off because it wasn't time yet. Andrade had to speak. He spoke, and then they finally showed it, which was fine. It was all right. Making it clear that MJF is going to be the next one. But then, after it was all over, you get Cruz getting destroyed again. I won't say this story is bad. I'm not. It's all right. But it's not for the national championship. And that's the thing. The national championship, as far as I can tell, is not going to be really cared about unless MJF is not going to win the Casino Gauntlet match, and then he's going after Andrade's national championship. But that's like a huge downgrade from going from the world title, where we really thought that they should have been a triple threat between all three of them, Kenny, Will, and MJF. It's now a possibility that they're going to give him a downgrade to the national championship. And MJF will make it work. He will make that damn title work. But do you want to see that? No, I don't want to. I'm sure you don't want to either. Moving on. The next quarterfinals. Nigel McGuinness versus Hechicero. Let me give it to you like this. Did I expect Nigel to win? No. He's a commentator. He rarely does win anything. But they did give him the win here. And it was a good match. Showing that his heel was messed up. Ugh. That was the thing that when they were talking about his Achilles, and as I've said in this video, I have a ruptured Achilles on my good leg, not my bad leg, on my good ankle, not my bad leg. It is hard to walk around. I gotta walk around and do all the stuff I got to because I have no one to take care of me right now. No relatives can really take care of me. I'm by myself, so I have to go and do all this stuff which puts pressure on it, and it doesn't heal quick enough or heal quickly enough, so it's taking longer than it needs to heal. Hearing that pissed me off. I won't lie. I was pissed looking at it. I'm going, you really, AEW, are now putting Nigel with a messed up messed up heel, and fuck. But you get my point. But he did win, so he will go further into the tournament, which is fine. I'm not really angry about it. I'm just surprised they did it. Next match. The Bucks and Kenny versus Clone, Jake Doyle, Mark Davis. What did you think was going to happen? 3 guys that could become main eventers, that should be made into main eventers. Not. Now, mind you, Clone, could he be a main eventer? He could have won the international championship. He's good enough. But does he talk Spanish? No. That's what Don's supposed to do. He's supposed to compensate for him. Then you got Doyle, and then you got Davis. Former Jake something. My boy. Who, after getting injured, finally comes back and is doing absolutely nothing. Then you see Mark. He was national champion. They get somewhere. But it didn't last long because they just want to drop it to Andrade. And now we get this, which I knew what was going to happen. We all knew what was going to happen. It happened. Kenny was the one who pinned, and if I'm remembering correctly, just to make sure I have my notes, it was Jake Doyle, Jake Doyle, who ate it. You see I'm messing up Jake's name because it pisses me off that all the big men they have, every big man they got, they could do something more with. I'm not saying that every big man needs to be pushed and to be in the main event and win every title. No. But I am saying that from time to time you should make them feel important. And you have not. You haven't done with Lance Archer. You haven't done it with Brian Cage. You haven't done it with Jake. Or you've done with Mark. None of them. And there's others. You got the Butcher. The Butcher has been around for a long time. He was working with Blade. And they were important until they never got anywhere. Butcher bust his ass to get himself in the greatest shape almost 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago. And they did nothing with him. I'm just... You got what I'm saying. You got to get what I'm saying. The match was over. The fight happens. CNC comes out. Everybody fights one another. And then you get the final thing, which would be the fight between Kenny and Will. Kenny tells security to get his ass out of here because Will said, look, before you went out there, you said you're going to tell me something. What, you're going to tell me about my son, my 7-year-old son? What do you want to talk about, you prick? And he makes it very clear, I ain't talking shit. Get the hell out of my damn arena. Get out, you UK bitch. And Will said, you know what, I'm going to whip that ass. Runs into the ring. They fight one another. Security holds him. Kenny whoops that ass. And then pretty much that ends the segment. He knocks his teeth down his throat. Makes it very clear. Except for this. Going for the table. You can see the shot of them. I believe I'm doing the wing. Was it important to see the one-winged angel going through the table and making Will look like he couldn't beat him? Yes. Was it effective? Yes. Did we need it? Yes, it's part of the story. Do I care about it? Yes. Did it make me hype for the overall show? No. But does it make me very interested in their match? Yes. So it did do what it needed to do. Now, let's move on. Let's go to the segments, which is the most important thing. Okada, and they did about 5, maybe 6 different interviews today. So you had 2 interviews from Tony and the rest were from Renee, which at least I will give them this. I don't know about anybody else. I'm going to give them credit. They wanted to make Wembley feel important, so they did as many interviews as they could and as many segments as they could. Were they all effective? They were all right. There were a few that were good, very good, because of the story that's already been built. But the general, it was okay. Okada, Fletcher, both talked. Okada said, we need to keep the title in the family. It doesn't make a difference. You keep it? Fine. If I keep it, I respect you, and I expect you to raise my hand. And then we get Kyle out in the ring with Tony, and he says, look, he's right. We need to keep the title in the family. Also right. We both hate Okada, Chusuke Okada. And he came out, whooped Kyle's ass a bit. But he made it very clear. You're going to do the job for me. That's your job. This is not the way you think it's going to go. With this triple threat, you are going to job for me. Either you're going to let me win by holding down Kateska, or you're going to do the damn job. That's what it implied. That's what we got in this story, which, am I glad to see it? Maybe. Maybe not. It's going to depend. Does this mean Okada might turn face? I don't know. Hold on. I know I'm going to go beyond the 30 minutes. Let's make it clear. Do I believe that Okada is going to turn face? Possibly. Because there's no guarantee it's going to work unless he really cheats his ass off like crazy. I don't see Kyle turning face. If any, there's a possibility Okada could turn face. Moving on. Next. The Maya World interview. Now, I did speak briefly on this because after she won, of course, you saw her talking to Willow. You already know my feelings already. Willow should not be having this match on Collision, period. That match they just showed, that was a fatal 4-way that pissed me off to the point I forgot what it was, should be on All In. So it shows they didn't care about Maya, they didn't care about Willow, they didn't care about Chris Statlander, they didn't care Hiro Kushida, and they didn't care about You see, I'm getting angry. I'm messing up Persephone's name. All 5 of these women were badly treated. They deserve better for this situation. I don't like it. Moving on. The next match. No, not match one. I'm still mad about that. Oh my gosh. Thinking about matches. When I like to match Tony Khan's head into the pavement along with everybody else. Well, I don't want to hurt him. I know. Metaphorically. I just want to bang his head into the pavement and say, dude, what are you doing? Look, I'm not expecting you to copy WWE or TNA, but I don't expect you to copy New Japan Pro Wrestling and AAA. You're supposed to be something of your own. Take a little bit of each one and make it mean something. You cannot tell me, as a wrestling fan, that you didn't like promo segments, in-ring segments, storytelling. Why do you think you fell in love with it? If it was only ROH, then you should make it exactly like ROH. Well, wait a minute, they have. My mistake. Moving on. Yeah. Moving on. What did I think about Willow and the Mercedes Moné segment? It was what it needed to be. Honest. When it came to Mercedes, she made it very clear, I can't stand you and that damn smile. When I was going to be the first New Japan Pro Strong Women's Champion, you broke my ankle. Well, technically, she didn't break it. She fell off the ring and broke her ankle badly. But she did smile as far as she's concerned. Then when she came to AEW, she was still smiling. She lost her title to her with a smile. And now she's going to get her chance to make that smile go away. And after that, that fight happened. With Willow, she made it very clear, you can't stand that I smile because no one likes you. Everyone hates you. And that went the fight. Am I interested in this story? Yes. At least they did keep the story of the ankle getting broken by Willow in a match. Well, technically she did. Like I said, Willow didn't directly break her ankle. Mercedes fell off ring, landed very badly, and broke her ankle badly. But it's still real story. Like her and Saraya, which I never understood. Both of them were in the same company. And they never went there when it came to Saraya and her last tag match. And at the time, Sasha pushed her into a ring buckle, and then Paige couldn't get up. If you've seen the footage, you saw her going like this. She couldn't feel anything. Her entire body went numb and limp. She could not get back up, and she tried. She was done after that. They could have had a story with that, and they refused to do it. Now, maybe Saraya felt uncomfortable about it. Maybe Mercedes felt uncomfortable. But I think if they're doing this with Willow, they could have done it with Mercedes and Saraya. I'm just saying. Moving on. The last to the two. Let me give it to you like this. What do we get with Kevin Knight and Darby Allin? A total beatdown with pyrotechnics going off in his face. I believe we got a shot of it. It's there. It's right there in my face. All that pyrotechnics going off in his face. Now, of course, I'm sure he protected himself and everything. And then the coast and coast with that chair, I did not like that. I'm sorry, let's make this very clear. Yes, I know they tried to set up the chair as safe as possible so when the coast to coast happened, it would fold and it would miss his head. But let's make it very clear. His head was very close to the edge of that chair. And even though it might have missed him, not by much, and it might have gone and hit him a little bit, because that was a hard kick he did. There was no way that Darby did not get some level of impact from that chair. And as you guys know, head trauma does happen in wrestling. And it makes me very nervous when they do stuff like this. If it had been open, maybe he might have been a little safer. Maybe. I'm not saying he would have been, but maybe. I wish they hadn't done that shot at all, but it was devastating. It did its job. And if Darby's perfectly fine, I'm fine with it. But it does make me nervous. And then we did get Sting's son. One of his sons. I don't remember his name. Steve, I think? I don't remember. I will know it eventually. His name. Counting if they're going to push him. Which they're going to. It's Sting's son. But he was there. And made it very clear. This story for the TNT title at All In is not over. But it's going to make sense. I'm cool with that. Finally, the final thing to talk about, that will be Will and Kenny's segment in the back with Renee. Was it believable? Yes, it was believable. Did Kenny overact? Yes, he did. But it doesn't take away from what was done by Will's part. He made it very clear. I've been chasing you for 10 years. I've been wanting to prove that I am just as good as you. But now, making it as it is, not just repeating what he says, he wants to prove that he's better than him. And Kenny's making it very clear. Every time, you can't do it. No matter what. You crumble. You collapse. And my diverticulitis is not the key here. Your neck is not the key. You just can't handle pressure. Period. You won't win. And he says, and this I will quote, I have to do this. My mother, my family, my wife, my son, my people there. I will be the first Englishman who could win on our soil. There's never been an Englishman ever a world champion. I will be the first. I have to win. That was point enough and potent enough. And after what happened at the end of the show, am I hyped for the match? Yes, like I said, I'm interested in the match. I'm very interested. But do I believe the entire All In is going to be good? I'm going to say this. Match quality will not be the question here. We know they can do good matches to great matches. It's not that, guys. And if you don't understand, one of the reasons why pro wrestling exploded in the 80s, 90s, and was reinvigorated into the 90s going into the 2000s was not just because of the wrestling. It was the spectacle of everything that went with it. Funny stars, charismatic stars, flat out badass stars like The Undertaker, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. All those type of people made it work, not because of how great of a wrestler they were. It was about their character. It was about their personas. It was about how they made it work with others who were good or great. And when it comes to AEW, they never do it correctly. They can have one of the best stories. But the rest of the show, yes, the matches will be great. But the stories are not always good, or they're mediocre at best. And when it's over, when the story is over, the match is over, the pay-per-view is over, and they got to go back to regular Dynamite, or Collision for that matter, it doesn't work. It angers me that they're like this. They could be better than WWE, or TNA, or New Japan, or AAA, which has now been purchased, of course you know. But the point here is this. It hurts to see they don't get it. Tony says he loves wrestling, but he doesn't understand all of it. And he doesn't make sure he gets people to let them do what they know they're supposed to do and write stories. This is where it comes down to. Like with the Fatal 4 Women. You got 5 women. 5. One of them had a segment after she won the match. But the thing is, why are they not going to have that match at All In? Why is Willow having to have a match on Collision with Maya World when it should not be? Because there's no way they're not going to have this match between her and Mercedes. It makes no sense to have this match with Maya. None. If they actually drop it to Maya and Maya goes to Mercedes, that would be the most stupidest thing they could have ever done. Because the story would not make sense and it'll anger the fans. They should not go there. But it's just me. Peace.